So there's a flat earther that just offered $1,000 to anyone who can beat his list of flat earth proofs. There's only one problem. His challenge is completely ridiculous. Listen to this.
I got a challenge for all the Globers out there, so please tag them in the comments or send in this video. This is my list of flat earth proofs or reasons I think the earth is flat and geocentric. You write your list, we'll compare them. Whichever one is based on more science, more observations, and more demonstrations or things that can be modeled. If you win, I'll send you $1,000 and never talk about flat earth again. Whichever one is based on more science, more observations, and more demonstrations or things that can be modeled. If you win...
Who's this list compared by? Who decides what counts as science? How are the observations, demonstrations, and models scored? How many points does each item get? Apparently, he enters a contest, defines the evidence, judges the evidence, announces the winner, and controls the prize money. There's no neutral judges, no scoring system, no escrow, no results. He just has to agree that you proved him wrong. That's not an objective scientific challenge. It's a contest that he designed so that he can't lose. Then we get to see all of his proofs. This isn't a list of scientific arguments. It's mostly a list of individual words and science-sounding phrases. He even wrote Bible. The Bible's not an observation, demonstration, or scientific model. He writes bridges, buildings, canals, railroads. Okay, what about them? What measurable property of a bridge demonstrates the Earth is flat? What does flat Earth predict? What does the globe predict? Nathan doesn't say. He just writes bridges. I can do that too. Microwaves, squirrels, the Costco food court. There, 3 globe proofs. If the entire proof is just one unexplained word, it's not a proof. It's a Google search you haven't finished. Take buoyancy. Buoyancy is real, but writing the word doesn't demonstrate Earth's shape. Buoyancy is the upward force exerted on an object immersed in a fluid. Under ordinary conditions, that pressure gradient exists because of gravity. Whether something floats or sinks tells us nothing about whether Earth's surface is flat or spherical. Buoyancy is not an alternative shape for Earth. Then the idiot lists whales, railguns, and spider ballooning. I would love to hear the complete scientific argument connecting spider ballooning to a flat geocentric Earth. This isn't research. It's a Wikipedia rabbit hole written in cursive. Some entries are even worse because they support the science Nathan rejects. He lists the Sagnac effect. The Sagnac effect allows ring laser gyroscopes to detect rotation. Sensitive RLGs fixed to the ground detect a rotation consistent with Earth's rotation. He listed evidence of Earth's rotation as evidence that Earth doesn't rotate. That's weird. Cavendish. The Cavendish experiment measures gravitational attraction between masses inside a laboratory. It doesn't even prove Earth's shape by itself, but it does directly contradict the claim that gravity can be replicated and repeated by density and buoyancy. So he debunks himself there. Dan Lathrop. Dan's geodynamo experiment uses a gigantic rotating sphere apparatus filled with liquid sodium to investigate how a rotating planet generates a magnetic field. So Nathan cited a giant rotating sphere as evidence that we don't live on a rotating sphere. Then there's Bell's theorem. Bell's theorem concerns quantum mechanics and entanglement. It has absolutely nothing to do with Earth's shape. Bell's theorem is evidence for flat Earth in the same way that Taco Bell is evidence of the existence of Mexico. This dunce asked for science, observations, demonstrations, and models. Fine. I coordinated an Eratosthenes experiment involving 9 participants and 10 measurements from different locations. We measured shadow angles and compared the results. A single spherical model with a distant sun accounted for the systematic change across those locations. That is an observation, a measurement, and a model making a numerical prediction. At my latitude, a Foucault's pendulum should precess at approximately 8.3 degrees per hour. I performed the experiment in my garage with fishing line and an anchor, and I got a measurement of 9.1 degrees per hour, so not that far off. We can also use orbital predictions to photograph the International Space Station crossing the Sun and Moon. That transit was predicted for a specific location and a specific second. I went there, counted down, and captured the station in 24 separate frames. These are predictions, measurements, and demonstrations that other people can repeat. They're not some random words written on a piece of paper to make you feel special. So where is the working flat Earth model? How does it calculate sunrise direction, sunset direction, daylight duration, and solar elevation for every location on every date? How does it predict seasons, polar days, polar nights, lunar eclipses, both northern and southern constellation rotations? An azimuthal equidistant map can't answer those questions. AE maps are projections of a globe, not a working physical model. Those were this guy's rules. So, I presented measured shadow angles, a Foucault's pendulum with a numerical prediction, and an ISS transit prediction for an exact location and the exact second. This guy presented Bible, bridges, buoyancy, whales, Bell's theorem, and spider ballooning, mostly without explaining how any of them demonstrate a flat Earth. By the standards that Nathan has publicly announced, I win $1,000. So, Nathan, if you want to send those $1,000, I'll get you my Venmo. If you believe I haven't won, publish your scoring system. Turn every one of those buzzwords into a testable claim. Show how it predicts a flat Earth better than a globe, and allow neutral people to judge the results. You can't wait until after seeing my evidence to invent new rules. Nathan structured this contest so collecting the money requires everyone to blindly trust his personal integrity. There's no escrow, there's no neutral judges, and nothing's preventing him from moving the goalposts. So now his integrity becomes something we can actually test. Does he honor the standard he announced? Does he accept neutral judging? Or does he change the rules and invent an excuse to keep the money? Integrity is not another buzzword Nathan can add to his list. Integrity is keeping your word when keeping it costs you something. Nathan, according to the rules you announced, you owe me $1,000. Let's see whether you have integrity and your challenge was real.